What's up, everybody? Let's do this Mothman Festival walk. Foot's killing me. We'll start off by the statue. I believe it's right here. Yeah, it is. And then we'll go down, see the food, and go from there. It looks like most of the people have left already. I am fine with that. Nobody is here. Huh. That's weird. Huh. Let's see what's going on with this. Maybe my stream isn't public or something. It's a little dark right here, but it won't be for very long. Okay. Oh, nope. Okay, so we're good. We're good. What's up, Melvin? San Diego. Well, it's still nice and daytime for you. It's good and dark here. Which these are tables to eat at, it looks like. I don't see anybody eating, so I can walk through here smoking, I suppose. Which most of the rednecks around here don't care anyway. Here's the statue. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bob Roach is the one that made that. My grandpa was friends with him years ago. He made his own little mini semi-truck thing that he drove around. And that's weird, like, okay, look. The food trucks are closed. It's weird. And there's back here. Right there. You see the Mothman Festival sign. I assume they got some sort of live entertainment or something over there, which, you know what? Let me go away from that music right now before my live stream gets flagged, probably. Huh. Very weird. The humidity's got my beard looking like crap. I don't do well with humidity. Or my hair doesn't, my beard doesn't. So, I think the Mothman Museum's around here somewhere. There's this Bunker 304 place, which I believe it's closed. Which I don't understand, really. All these places should be staying open, and this should run till, I don't know, 10 or 11 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, which it did rain. I almost didn't come because of that. But I think it'll be way funner to just take you guys through the history, mainly, of the Mothman crap. Is like the least interesting thing about this area right here. And we can go down to the actual locations of these interesting things, and let's just do that. Let's just do that. Because I'm not seeing any food, really. Cotton candy's open. But yeah, I can turn it around. Try not to put people right on the camera. Here's the post office. It's pretty old school. I don't know when it was built, but it's Pretty interesting building. Anyway, flip this back around. Let's walk down here. It's a pretty good walk, and we will get started on all the history that I've brushed up on. And I do have some notes. Sorry about the noise. Holy cow. It smells like plastic burning or something. Well, if Elandil tunes in, there are funnel cakes. Funnel Cake Escape is the name of that trailer. Yeah, but like all this stuff is closed already. It's my guess is they're probably out of food. Because I know this runs till after 10 o'clock. It's kind of crazy. Oh, look, a motorcycle for sale. And it's a Harley. Not a big fan of what Harley's been doing lately. And they don't have a price on it, of course. And there's a Jeep for sale with no price on it. I don't know. This stuff that I got going on down here, like the going through the history, is going to be way more fun than anything else. Man, I hope the bathrooms are open down here. Really hope the bathrooms are open down here. I'll have to leave the camera outside for a second. It should be fine. I do have it on a tripod, so that's a plus. I'm not seeing the chat for some reason. Hey, what's going on? Greg? Don't forget to let everybody know. Oh yeah, I do have a Discord. I can't throw up a link. Maybe, well, hang on a second. I'm gonna make you a moderator. And you should, by doing that, you should be able to post links that should be maybe clickable. I'm not sure. Let me go back through the chat here and see what I've missed. Melvin said 72 and sunny. I think he was the one in San Diego. It's probably about 72 here, but it is humid. Where it rained, which it was humid before it rained, but now it's really humid. It's like sticky, nasty. The American Legion looks like they've literally fenced off their entire parking lot. This is kind of crazy. American Legion, Mothman, 5-day, all-day admission. For what? Exactly. I mean, what are you paying admission for? Huh. I do not know. American Legion Post Moth. Oh, Moth Jam. Whatever that is. I know it stinks right here. They must have had some sort of like small festival or something. I don't know what they had going on there. But something stinks right here. Holy cow, it smells like something dead. Actually, it smells like a dead animal. Oh, it's like a beer garden. Huh. Must be like draft beers or something. We're gonna go down here and start basically, well, not basically, we're going to go down here and start this with the Native American parts that I know. I know there's a lot more to it than what I can tell you. There's also like some symbolism, and the Chief Cornstalk, what's left of him, is buried right down here. I'm going to have to go hit up this restroom, though, first and foremost. But Twindawee Park is where his remains are buried, which they've moved him like 2 or 3 times from what I understand. And every time there's been less and less of him. It's not good. And he's the one that supposedly placed a curse on this entire area. It's one of those things that, like, if enough people believe in it, I feel like it does have an effect. And there's a lot of people around here that believe in it, let me tell you. But we will get down into the specifics of all of that. And there's a restroom back here. It's gonna get dark. Please tell me. Come on. You've got to be kidding me. All right. You can see me, but here, let me just flip this around. Turn this off. Flip the camera. All right. I believe they call that the mansion house or something. And they have got the bathrooms completely freaking blocked off over here. This is... action. Okay, I got it back. Where's the closest restroom? Right here? Oh, you're a godsend. Oh my gosh. Dude, you are awesome.
I'm open later due to Mothman, but I was running out of paper towels.
Oh.
Everyone's coming here because my toilet's flush.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this out here. I will be back, guys. Man, I really do appreciate this. Now I'm going to do my live stream here, taking everybody through kind of a history lesson. What I know, but you probably know more details than I do.
We'll see. Hey, good. How are you? Are you the caretaker here? I'm the caretaker. Okay, is your wife, yes, I work for her dad. Oh, Vic? Yeah, no shit. Yeah, yeah, he told me you work here. Yep, so I just live down the road here in Klein. Yep. Yeah, I live out Black Oak Road. So, now, do you work for the DNR?
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
He's manager of Cornstalk. He's wildlife biologist. Okay. Yeah, he's one of my best friends. We all grew up together. That's excellent. Yep. Actually, I may go pee real quick.
Okay, I'm leaving it open.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean...
yeah.
I stuck the padlock back through it, but
okay.
It's unlocked. All right, cool. Dude, thank you so much.
No problem.
Man.
You have a good man.
Yeah, I'll be back over here in a second. Okay. Whew. All right. Yeah, what is Discord? Yeah, same. I got the same. Or here, you guys can't hardly see me on this. This front-facing camera does not have as much light as the rear-facing camera. So let me get over here in the lights. Yeah, but I'm with you on the whole Discord thing. I'm learning. Greg, or Investory on here, was the one that talked me into getting a good Discord started. It's basically just like a chat room so far. You can post links, you can post memes, you can post videos and stuff like that, but it's just an open chat room of like-minded folks from going to be from my channel, because it will be my Discord. It's my Discord server. It's what it's called. But like I said, it's basically like a chat room where we can all discuss openly things that you can't really talk about sometimes on here. It just makes it easier to communicate, makes a more personal experience for everyone. You get on a more personal level with whoever decides to come over there. So since the lighting sucks, now let me see if I turn the camera around into the dark. Just yeah, this has got a much better low light camera here. Okay, there's the new bridge, right there. And I just dropped my flashlight. All right, but it's definitely hitting the bridge. And here is the obelisk. There's an interesting story that goes along with that as well. So, well, hang on. See, we're gonna walk over here and I'll show you these two properties over here real quick, because this area, well, you know, we got to start with the Native American stuff, actually. So where I was at was really a better spot. Oh, wait. Oh, he just went into that place. Okay. All right, I'm going to start off with the Native American stuff that I know over here, and then we will make our way over there, which is the more of the Revolutionary War stuff, which the Native American stuff will tie into that as well. So it's kind of a double. But let's just start off with the Native American lore that I have read about. Now, this is just written accounts that I've been able to research and read, and whether or not you believe it or whatever is totally up to you. But according to the Native American accounts and everything that I've researched up to this point, as far as Native Americans did not want to settle in this area, and they did not settle in this area. Reason being, according to what I've been able to read, is because they believed and they said that this county, more or less, Mason County, is where the dead would walk at night and where the people from the sky would come to visit. Take from that what you will or what you want. Doesn't matter. It's just if you can research this yourself. Point Pleasant, West Virginia, Native American, probably type in paranormal history or paranormal written accounts. But it's very odd to me and to anyone with any common sense why they would not use this extremely fertile soil and land to grow crops. Because look, let me just flip you around here. Right here, this is the Ohio River. Let me clean my camera real quick. I think that's a little better. That's the Ohio River. And that right there is the Canal River that runs up, let's see, I want to say I think it's like 100 miles. I could be wrong. I'm not sure on the mileage, but it doesn't matter. This is where two large rivers meet. The Ohio River, when America just first got up and kicking, really when it started developing in the 1700s, early 1800s, the Ohio River was one of the most active and important waterways in the United States, period. The Ohio River, the Mississippi were the extremely, that's how a lot of the east areas were developed, because it's easy to travel up and down this river and transport goods. You see what I'm saying? Because there was no road system, there was no interstates, so the river was the natural system of travel. So again, the reason I bring that up is because I think it's very, very interesting or odd, or it doesn't make sense why they would not use this land to plant crops with all this water right here, the two rivers meeting up that way and down this. So this would be up the Ohio River that way, that's upriver, and that is up the Canal River. So the Canal River is kind of interesting because it goes north and it also goes uphill when it flows down. It's kind of strange to me. Obviously there's enough current to carry it up that hill, up the incline that it goes up, but it's kind of odd. They would run their livestock through here. They preferred to not even camp overnight in this area. I'm sure at some point some of them did. Maybe that's where these stories come from. Maybe they saw things. And back then, if you saw something in the sky, let's be honest, like a voice chat we can all speak on. Oh, okay, you're explaining. Okay. Where did I leave off at there? Oh, if you saw something in the sky back then, it had to be something that there wasn't airplanes around. So obviously, if they saw something, they saw something. So.
Good evening, man.
Oh, yeah, man, it's good to see you again. Hey, did you look up eating history? You probably forgot, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right here.
I'll get it.
All right, cool. So, hey, is there anything interesting I should tell them about this particular spot that you?
Well, interesting in what way?
Okay, so really, I'm going down a history lesson. Do you care to be on here?
Yeah, I can be on there for a second or two. Not
right.
officially, of course. You can't see me.
Unofficial.
Or we'll cover up my name back.
There. How about that?
That works.
Obviously the paranormal aspect of it, which again, I've told them, as far as the Mothman thing goes, I don't put much stock in that. And most people that I know here that were around and had direct contact with people, there's not a whole lot of stock in that. But hey, the people that believe it, they believe that's fine.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously, weirdest thing happened to me, and I haven't, this just popped into my head 2 nights ago. My dog's been kind of injured, so we got this weird schedule going on. She can hardly walk. But anyways, we were outside. It was probably 2 or 3 in the morning, and it was full moon, so it was 2 nights ago. I heard something off in the distance, and I'm not going to try to imitate it, but you know what a crane sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard it screeching.
Yeah.
And I watched this thing fly right into the moonlight, huge. And I had a flashlight. I've always got a flashlight in my pocket, but I already had it out. And I hit that crane with my flashlight, and I saw red eyes. But it was huge, and it was very interesting to see, because I've never seen one flying at night like that. And I worked on the river for years. I'd see them at night, but they'd always be standing on one leg or whatever.
Something would have spooked it.
Yeah, something got it up in the air, right? And it was flying towards the river, but it was coming not from the river. It was coming from out in the country, which whatever. Maybe it was out there at a pond or something. Who knows? But that was cool. And I was like, oh, this is intimidating. It's huge, and it's got the red eyes, which was, it stuck out as soon as I hit it with my flashlight. I was like, ooh.
Well, that's one of the other theories. Apart from Mothman,
a big crane.
A big crane causing the sighting.
And there was supposedly one that was around at the time. So,
now as for down here, if any place in Point Pleasant would be haunted, it should be here.
Yeah.
With all the numerous people that have been moved after they've passed away and all that.
Yeah, Cornstalk, right there he is, right?
Cornstalk's been moved 3 times.
He's down there?
Matt Ann Bailey was moved here.
Okay, let's see. Matt Ann Bailey?
Mad Ann.
Oh, Mad Ann Bailey.
Yeah.
I don't know that
remarkable
story.
Lady. Her husband was killed in the battle here in 1774, and she became obsessed on getting revenge. She put on his clothes, and she joined the Revolutionary Army as a messenger, a scout, and spy.
I think I have heard something about this.
She's credited with saving the fort in Charleston. It was under siege. They needed powder. She rode from Charleston to Lewisburg and back to bring powder to save the fort while it was under siege. I mean,
Wow.
Heroic lady. True heroine.
So did the guys that was working with her directly on her side, did they know that she was her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
She'd only trick people riding by.
Right. But this was the kind of lady that you didn't mess with Mad Ann. I mean, there's a reason they called her Mad.
Yeah, no nonsense.
She would put you in your place if she needed to.
Wow.
But,
I did not. I'm going to have to look into that.
She was originally buried in Gallia County across the river at her son's farm, but her last wish was to be buried near her first husband over here. So she's been.
So is there a lot of soldiers buried here?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
I didn't know that either.
There was like
120
injured or died.
Yeah, I'd say a lot more than that, actually.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of guys fell right here.
There's a large depression out near the wall over here.
So in this area.
And that's actually was a mass grave.
Oh, did they dig it up and try to remove? No, so they're still there. So the divot is probably from dead space.
Things have broken down, then things have settled.
Right.
When they built the monument, they had to dig out for the foundation of it. I mean, they had to have a thick foundation so it could sink.
Right.
But all the remains that were found under that are all buried together in a box.
Oh.
And the statue is looking down at his soldiers that didn't come back.
Wow.
That's why it's a battle monument, but he's not like cheering, like heroic and all that.
Yeah.
He's somber. And he's
looking down at the fallen. So I heard that this got struck by lightning.
1913.
Yeah, when it was being moved, or?
Well, it was 1909 they put it up.
Okay, 1909 they put it up.
And 4 years later it got hit by lightning. It got hit by lightning hard enough that it knocked the top off.
And then it got hit again when right?
Yeah, it wasn't long after that. It got hit again before they put the new top on.
Yes, that's pretty wild. I mean, and I personally attribute things like that to being signs from the universe or the higher power of everything, whatever you want to consider that to be. There is a collective energy and existence. I don't care what anybody says. So this is an interesting thing that I've recently learned. So they have satellites that are orbiting Earth that measure electromagnetic fields. And it's constantly every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes, it takes a measurement. And this has been going on since, like, in the 90s, I believe, is when they got them up in there. Anyways, the point is, after 9/11, 15 minutes after 9/11, there was a extremely large spike in the electromagnetic energy. And that spike continued for some time, but it was the reading just happened 15 minutes after. And that spike continued because I believe the collective fear and feelings and sense of patriotism that everyone felt right after that, there is something so up until recently, they've thought that anything that happens with us, an event that would happen, it would only affect us right here. But big events like that can affect a lot larger area, and I don't mean like fallout from it. I mean the initial energy of these things that happen. It's really interesting when you dive down that rabbit hole, because then it really starts to make sense, especially like a collective, awakening, or people understanding, or people coming together for a common goal. Like when you realize that just everyone feeling the same way can start affecting everything.
Look at music.
Yes,
that's all you got to do.
That's a great example. Yes, and frequencies, is a trickle out of that.
A group of people playing music, their heartbeats and breathing will all synchronize.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're all on the same wavelength.
Yes, and I don't necessarily believe that it's just all got to do with frequency. I think it's more of a human energy that we emit that can synchronize with others. Like it's an interesting thing that I just learned about. And man, I need to go further down that rabbit hole, but it makes sense to me. I'm not saying some of that stuff's provable. Like that's the stuff I really like to put some weight into,
Yeah.
the stuff that you can prove. But as far, like, what's the deal with this place right here? I've never really understood the significance of, this is the mansion house,
This
right?
is the mansion house. So
Okay.
It was built in 1796 by a gentleman named Walter Newman. He had fought in the Battle of Point Pleasant 20 years earlier in 1774. But he wanted to come back because he liked the way the rivers came together. The catch was, in those 20 years, he got married. So he had to convince his wife to come out here to the middle of nowhere, to some battlefield he fought at before they ever met. That's a hard sell. I mean, honest, that's a hard sell.
I mean, yeah, oh yeah.
Luckily, she cut a deal with him, and she said, if you build me a proper home, I'll come out there. Well, he must have loved her a whole bunch, because I mean, this thing has 3 floors and a basement. In 1796, there wasn't a road coming here. Like,
Yeah, so he had to harvest all this lumber from right
It was
here.
all harvested here. He built it with draft horses and pulleys. I mean,
Yeah.
some of those logs.
So this probably took him a year or two.
2 days. They had it up in 2 days.
How many people did he have?
He had 15 people with him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the fort,
Wow.
the fort was right across, right over there.
Oh.
So that was manned with like 100 men. So he had help.
Yeah, supplies, a
But I
little,
mean,
yeah, a little
But
easier.
still. I mean,
So did they move the fort?
well, it was
Did they-
reconstructed.
Yeah, they picked it up
Yeah.
and reconstructed it out there.
They found the foundation was all that was left.
Oh, okay.
Because there's been 3 forts that have built here. One of them was abandoned, one was burnt down, and the other one was taken in siege and then burned down.
Interesting.
But
Yeah, but most people don't understand that we're standing right now. Okay, so right now, where I'm standing, this right here is where the Revolutionary War kicked off. Most people don't have a clue. Look, I grew up here. I went to school here. They never taught me this growing up in school. Why? Why? I came here for like Civil War reenactments, is exactly what it was. Civil War reenactments here and over in Gallipolis. But not once was I told or taught that this right here is where the Revolutionary War kicked off. It's an extremely important part of American history. And anybody with common sense would agree that this property right here is something that, well, let's just say that all America should know about and understand. Looks like we got a pamphlet here.
this
What's
year
this?
is the 250th anniversary of the battle.
Oh, cool. Look at this.
So battle days between October 6th and 13th is our event at the end of the year. We have reenactors. We've got a George Washington. We've got Andrew Lewis. And
So do they usually do a Revolutionary War reenactment here?
We don't do a battle. You can come here,
But it's like
you can come here
the
and talk to
times.
Mad Ann kind of thing.
Okay.
So then, all the prominent people were portrayed, and
Huh.
come Friday evening or Saturday. It's the best time to come.
Yeah, I'll have to come down. When is this?
Second
Oh,
weekend of October.
yeah, it happened on October 10th or something, right?
Yeah. Well, on October 10th, we'll be doing a memorial service, and then that evening they have a colonial ball they put on. And
Oh,
then the next day, Friday, during the school day, we have all the school kids from 4th grade in the area come.
right.
And then that evening, we'll turn off all the lights, light everything with lanterns, and you get to come through and talk to all the people.
Cool.
We got vendors and a blacksmith.
Yeah, I'll come down here and check it out. I mean, especially the 250th anniversary. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only going to happen once.
Yep.
Cool. Can I have this?
Yeah, you take it. You
Awesome.
good. But I'm
Very
going to
cool.
head on home, dude.
All right. Well, thanks for all the info, man. Appreciate
talking
it.
with you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So we're gonna dive into the slight history lesson and events that I can give you guys. I was going to show you guys, but look, across the street, that house right there. Let me flip this around and see if we can see it better. Okay, so over there, you see that house, and there's another house that's right here, and it's on the lines of what I would consider to be an actual mansion, especially for the time period that it was built. It's a huge house. It's I want to say it's like 4,600 square feet. And the only reason I know that is because I was actually looking at buying I was actually looking at buying that house right there and this one right here. And in between, there's like a garage, great big garage thing right here. But I was looking at buying both of those properties together, and they go all the way up underneath of the bridge over there. But the reason that I did not, and I don't think that I would, is because the flood wall is right on the other side of that house right there. So all these houses right here, including the very large one right here, and this one's like a 2,800 square foot house. It's pretty good size too. Actually, it's bigger than that with the basement, and I haven't seen the third story either. So maybe it's like 3,000 some square feet. Anyway, these are outside the flood wall. So if it were to ever flood again here, which, I mean, they call it 100-year flood, but I don't know that we'll have another one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about purchasing those properties over there. I could get them for a pretty decent deal for what they are. But, yeah. So, here, let me flip this around, actually. Right over the... is it this right here? It might be... I don't think this is it. Or maybe this is it. Let me get my flashlight. This might be what's left of cornstalk. Nope. Water, painter, stone. Okay. That's not here. Let's go down here and see where cornstalk's at, because there's not much left of old cornstalk. Not much at all. The last thing that I heard, whenever they dug him up and moved him again, they found 2 or 3 teeth, and like just a couple small bones is all that was left of Chief Cornstalk when in this location right here when they reburied him yet again. Right here. This is where Cornstalk was laid down. Okay, so that's weird. As I was standing there pointing at it, the connection just dropped out, and I have 5 bars of 5G, so I don't know what that's about, but I will move away from Cornstalk. I'll take a hint. Anyway, we will walk over here and look at this, but on that property over there, there was a discovery made of an Indian burial mask that is currently sitting in the Smithsonian somewhere. I don't know if it's still on display or if they've stashed it away in you know, their huge archives of artifacts. I don't know. I do know that it was discovered over there, and I also know that those 2 properties over there that I'm discussing right now, the ones I told you that I looked at and didn't realize they were outside the flood wall whenever I looked at it before I come to look at them. They've never been searched by archaeologists. They've never been looked at, period. So the chances of there being a lot of artifacts over there, Native American, Revolutionary War, is very high. There's probably a lot of stuff on that ground over there. This ground right here that I'm standing on has been gone through multiple times. I would say this entire area has been dug up at some point in time or another, and then it's been a constant up and down thing with the ground being dug up. But yeah, October 10th, 1774. And when you start getting into the story of exactly how the soldiers did Cornstalk, what they done to him. So he was basically like an ally. He was wanting to work with them and was working with them to try to stop the war from happening. He wanted to, he was basically an arbiter of peace. Didn't want anyone fighting. He thought that there was a way that they could work together and figure things out. Well, at some point, I can't remember exactly how the story goes of how he was taken into custody, because actually, I do believe there were some Native Americans that did attack the fort, and I believe No, that's not how he initially got arrested. That's how they ended up going after him. And so they had him, his son, and another Native American. I don't know if he was a chief or what he was, but they were all in a prison building, and some Indians outside of the fort attacked. And when that happened, they came in, kicked the door in, and shot Cornstalk multiple times. Shot his son right in front of him. He lived through being shot like, I want to say it was like 7 times. He lived through that, and killed the other Indian chief. I can't remember who it was, but killed his son right in front of him. And he, with his dying breaths, put the curse on this place. That's the story, and I do believe that probably did happen. Then you just go from there, how much that lore has trickled down and been believed over so many years. The battle itself is that's a very interesting point of history here that I feel like gets lost. So then we need to move on after that to the first American president, and that's George Washington. So George Washington most likely stood right here where I'm standing right now. I'm almost positive he did. I guarantee if I go right over there to that corner, he stood there, and he looked at these rivers the same way I'm looking at them. And when he was coming down the Ohio River, he saw these 2 rivers meeting right here, and said, that's a pleasant point. And out of that, this place ultimately ended up being called Point Pleasant, because of George Washington calling it a pleasant point right here where this point is. But he supposedly spent a substantial amount of time here because he loved this area so much. And it was not being developed. There were no people around. So he did, I think it was a lottery, or maybe not. Maybe he just gave property away. He chunked it up. I'm pretty sure he gave some property to people that he wanted to have some property, and then some of it might have went in a lottery. But that's how this area got cut up into ownership of land, was because George Washington. George Washington was the main arbiter of developing this area, and the reason that this area was ever started to be developed, which obviously, the way things expand, it would have been developed eventually anyways, but he was the one that came here and liked it so much that he thought people needed to be here, and people needed to be using this land. Ever since then, nothing has ever thrived here. Most people think that that's because of Cornstalk, and supposedly, let's see, was it a 200-year? I think it was a 200-year curse is what he said, and that would have been over sometime in the 70s, or maybe it was, I can't remember exactly how the dates go, but it should have been over a long time ago. I don't know, a lot of people think that had something to do with the bridge falling and everything like that. So I don't know. I don't really know if that's, you can take from that what you will. But if we walk down here, which we'll go ahead and do that right now. How am I going to get the best lighting? I think it gets really dark if I go this way. Let's go over here and look. Because there's a walkway, a pathway that'll take me straight down the river. Oh, they got a towboat. Got a towboat or something down here. Kind of looks like, here, let me flip it around. Looks like, maybe it's a stern wheeler or something. Yeah, that looks pretty dark down through there. I don't know. Maybe we could do that. We can walk. Let's just do that. Let's walk down through here. Here, I'll give you guys a good look at this pleasant point that George Washington saw. Let me back the camera out. There we go. Sounds like a towboat though. Yeah, it's, well, I don't know, with them lights down there on the deck like that, that might be a stern wheeler. Let me see if I can light it up with this flashlight. Nope, won't reach that far. But it will reach the river right there. It goes out there pretty far, but not far enough. All right, let's walk down through here. I'll use this camera because it goes on low light. The next place we're going to go down to, and which I can talk to you guys on the way down there to it. There's two more locations down here I think that are noteworthy. One being the old Point Pleasant jail. It's a very interesting story that's got, wait a second, I can't walk through there? Huh, that's all riverbank. So we gotta walk over through there. I thought I could walk straight down through there. Huh. Some really nice grass here too, really nice. I've had a hard time keeping my grass, and I know they don't water this grass. Huh, that's weird. Somebody's hitting that over there with the... All right, let me read through the chat a little bit and see if there's any questions you guys got. Lisa Myers Lucas, you guys were taught that? Yeah, I wasn't taught that. I grew up in Leon. They didn't teach it to me at Leon. Then I moved from Leon to, well, basically to Gallipolis. I spent time over at Gallipolis. Maybe I just missed it, like, because I know he just said 4th grade, and I did not go to 4th grade over here. What they focused on in Gallipolis was the Underground Railroad, and the Civil War battles. So I was not taught about it. But this is something that should be taught to all kids. I mean, like, right? I don't think I'm wrong in thinking that this is common knowledge that all kids should know about the Revolutionary War, where it started, why it started, what the outcomes were. I don't know. But yeah, I missed part of 3rd and 4th grade over here, and then I went to Gallipolis, and I was in Gallipolis until 8th or 9th grade, I think 9th grade, and then I came back over here and went to Point Pleasant, and had welding classes and got certified, state certified in welding, MIG, TIG, and stick for 2 years until it took me 2 years to get certified, and then I went back to Gallipolis and graduated over there. So there's a lot of, I believe is this Mad Ann here? Yep, Mad Ann. There we go. Mad Ann Bailey. There we go. Yeah, I'll definitely go to Battle Days this year, 100%. Yeah, kids definitely should know local history, but I feel like this is something, I mean, this is national history, and you don't get that sense from this area that this place was so integral to the history of America in general. I mean, period. Without the start of that right there, this battle right here, I mean, America might not exist. You know what I mean? Had it not kicked off, who knows? It's weird how events play out and how sometimes they don't over some small, insignificant reason that might hold an event from happening back, you know? true, as I'm not from the US, I don't get it the same. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh yeah, thanks for that, man. Yeah, hit that like button up or down. Hit the thumbs up or down. Google does not care. They just want to know feedback. They just want interaction. They don't care what it is. So neither do I. That's fine. Up or down, either way. Who's this? I can't remember. Oh. So we got a Daniel Boone here. Again, this is the Roach fellow that made all these stainless steel statues. He did this one, the Mothman one, that one down there. There's a fireman up in New Haven that he did. He did quite a few of them there towards the end of his life, to be honest. But the jail story down here, this is a good one. And there's definitely some paranormal aspects to that. And honestly, the experience that I've had here are worthy, in my opinion, and most people's, I would think, of being talked about. And I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's many people that have the same type of stories that I've got. Somebody's light boat. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, no, he ain't light boat. I think he accidentally hit his alarm. I think. But yeah, we'll go down here and go to the jail. And like I said, it's a really interesting story. I believe, hang on, let me pull my phone out, because I think it was 1977. 1977. But the whole story is really hard to find. There's not a whole lot out there about it, about what led up to it, other than a little baby girl, was murdered, supposedly by her mother. Let me see here. Here we go. It was 1976. But it was a suicide bombing. But the story that led up to that. Here's some more statues. Let me flip this around. What do we got here? That's General Andrew Lewis. I can't remember. There's some interesting stuff about Lewis. And there's Cornstalk. Yeah, the statues are pretty good, I gotta say. And the detail on that clothing is really cool. I'm sure it's super sharp. But he did really good on Cornstalk. I don't know how well he captured their likeness. Probably not too well, but good enough. Good enough. Okay, let's see what towboats are down here. I almost bought a stern wheeler like 2 years ago. I should have bought it. The guy wanted $100 grand for it, but he had the engine out of it, replacing the engine on it, and I did not feel confident in my ability to replace the engine on it. I don't know. It could have been that one right there. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. I'll know if I see it. Looks like they got 3 here. But the thing is, up in Pomeroy right now, which is the town that's like almost directly across from mine, is they're having the stern wheel regatta up there right now, which is kind of goofy to have both of these events going on at the same time. I don't know who scheduled that, but they should have at least had them a week apart. Let's see if I can see the name on that middle one, because that might have been the one that I was looking at buying. I mean, I literally went on, me and my son went and checked it out. Like, oh, there's 4 of them actually. One that says the Kanawha. cannot read that. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. It might be, though, because that's what that one looked like. It had 2 living decks like that. Let's see if you guys can read it. What's that say? I want to say it says like Nathan James or something like that. I can't tell. I cannot tell what the name of that one is. I don't see a name plate on this one on the end. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's go to the jail. Let's go to the jail. The story leading up to the bombing down here is what I've had trouble finding out more details about, because like I said, I mean, it's an interesting story, period. It really is. We're gonna go over here and walk the main street, smoke a cigarette. It's cooled down quite a bit, which is nice. My chat's not coming up, guys, so I literally have to stop or reach up there and scroll. Lived near Cornstalk Wildlife Area. Is that in a different state? Because I've seen some other Chief Cornstalk stuff online in other states. Oh, there's them. They moved the museum. Here. There's the museum, the Mothman Museum. Take a quick look. I've heard about these comics. Steer clear is what I've heard. Just a bunch of stuff. And there's some Fallout stuff. Bethesda was here like 2017, maybe 16, 17, somewhere along in there. I was down here. I did film some stuff back then, but I don't have. Oh, look at there. Some canteens and a belt. Really playing on the whole Fallout community thing. There's that. TNT area. What's this? Nothing. Okay. All right. So they're doing bus tours too. Like, I don't know who's going on these bus tours, and supposedly they sell out. But what are you gonna see? Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, what the whole point is of the whole bus tour thing. The only thing they could do would be to take you out in the TNT area, and there's nothing out there, the igloos. But I mean, I guess if that's what you're into. All right, come on, pull the story up for me, because there we go. Okay, so I'll pull up what information I can. There goes the cop. Oh, I didn't catch him. Anyway, I think we're almost there. We're almost to the courthouse. Courthouse is down here. The old State Theater. I think that's what it was called, State Theater. Yeah, they've let it go. Nobody's been willing to put the money into it to revive it. It's from what I heard, it's falling apart. It smells like sewage on the inside. Yeah, look here. There it is. Man, it'd be so cool to get those neons lit back up. Revive the theater, split it into, I don't know, you might be able to put 2 viewing, theaters in there. So you could watch maybe 2 movies in there. It's not very big. There it is. And here is the courthouse. This is the old jail. What is it? Irish? Yeah, you saw they're selling the Low Hotel, didn't you, Lisa? They want $2.2 million. Look, my mom and my aunt used to be when I was a little kid, she was the head maid at the Low. So I got to play around in there when I was like, I don't know. I remember doing it when I was probably 5 or something. I was really young. So like some of my earliest memories, I remember playing around in that place. They have done nothing to that hotel since then. Like, it's the same now. It hasn't been renovated. It hasn't been redone. Like, that place, I mean, it's not. If I was to put a realistic value on that hotel, the way it sits right now, and they don't want locals in there, by the way. Lisa, I don't know if you've tried to go in there and talk to them or do anything. They don't want locals coming in there. They are interesting. I don't know the people other than the interactions that I've had with them. And I am not going to say anything good or bad. I'm just going to tell you my experience. So that's been my experience. Take from that what you will. Let's get the State Theater in the background. Here we go. Anyway, if I was to put a realistic value on it, I would say it's probably worth maybe like 700. And I think that would be pushing it, because, and the reason I say that is because to bring that up to anything resembling a modern-ish usable hotel, you're going to be into it millions in renovations. And that's to say that you won't run into some structural issues or something. Hopefully you wouldn't. So you'd be taking a risk on something that old. But there's not enough people that would come here and stay, is the thing. Like, yes, the Mothman Festival, there you could probably fill it, close to fill it up maybe right now. And then what? It's worse than a money pit. I believe it would be you may as well just go ahead and light your money on fire and burn it. Like, it wouldn't be worth messing with. And that's just my opinion. I mean, maybe somebody else has got a vision that I don't. Maybe somebody else would be willing to put that massive amount of work into what it would take to bring that thing up to something usable. But right here, the courthouse, this is a very, very, very interesting story in my opinion. And I do have a little bit of paranormal information that I can give you about this that I thought was extremely interesting. We're going up here. There's actually a memorial on the corner up here, because the jail was actually, and it still looks kind of like the jail, because they did rebuild it afterwards right here. This part right here, I think you can still see the bars on the windows and stuff, I think. We'll see. They might have taken them off by, yeah, it looks like they might have taken them off now. Huh. I don't know when they done that, but I don't pay that much attention to it. Could have been 20 years ago, for all I know. Anyway, the memorial is right there. So let me pull up his name, the girl's name and the fella's name, because I can never remember it. Okay, so Harriet was his 18-year-old girlfriend that had supposedly killed their baby. And I guess it was they kind of hem-hauled around, and it started off as it was more like an accident, and then they found out that it wasn't an accident, and they arrested her. And that is when her husband, his name was Bruce Sisk, S-I-S-K. He was a coal miner. He worked in the coal mines. I don't know if he was a blasting guy. I don't know if he was, I know he worked in the coal mines. I know he had access to explosives, and he literally took dynamite from the job site, which they traced that back and found out, where it came from, when he got it. Put it in a briefcase. I believe it was in a briefcase. I don't know if this story mentions that or not. Yes. Actually, no, it was a suitcase. So, but the way he came in initially, he warned a couple people to not be here, and that threw up red flags. But he came in with the suitcase, basically threatening that he was going to do something. And he went into the cell with his girlfriend, his wife. I don't know if they were married. I think they were married. And he had specified a time that he was intending to do this. If memory serves me, it was like 11 something. He ended up doing it earlier though. And there was a total of 11 people when he detonated his bomb. And like the whole interaction going up to that, there's a story that I could not find that's more detailed of the exact. I think it's kind of an interesting story to look up. But here, let's go take a look at the memorial real quick. This is what the center of town looks like, McDonald's. All right. Here's the memorial. Shadows blocking it. Kenneth W. Love, or Kenny. March 2nd, 76. Everybody, And Elvin E. Wedge Pete. And Ernest R. Hessen, or Ernie. Born in 1904. So he passed on the 9th. They passed on the 2nd. Mason County Jail explosion. So there is I don't know what he's called. A guard, bailiff. I don't know. I don't know what his title is, but he has worked here for a very, very long time. As long as I can remember, the guy's been working the door at the metal detector down there. As long back, I can't remember if there was a time where that didn't used to be there. I'm sure there was, but maybe I was too young and I didn't own anything to have to come in here and pay property taxes or something. But he's worked in there. He's an older fella. I would put him probably in his 70s, maybe 80s. He has no intentions of retiring from what I understand. I was actually in here paying my property taxes the other day, and he wasn't working, and I asked the fellow working, I was like, hey, where's that old guy that works here? He's like, oh, yeah, he was off today. I was like, oh, I figured he retired. He's nope. He's got no plans of retiring or leaving. But I had talked to him before. It's probably been a couple years ago, I'd say, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I brought up the paranormal aspect, kind of touched on the history a little bit. Told him I used to work on a show on History Channel, which kind of opens it just kind of opens people up a little more, so that's why I brought it up. And obviously I wasn't filming or anything, but I said, have you ever experienced anything? Have you ever heard anything like that would be noteworthy of a paranormal, that you would consider to be paranormal? And he looked at me kind of like he didn't know if he wanted to tell me or not. It was kind of the way I took it. Like he's kind of sizing me up whether I would accept the information, which obviously asking that kind of question, I'm pretty open-minded about it. And he said, yes. He's like, I have heard things before. And he's like, I have seen people that weren't there before. So take from that what you will. The fact that he was cool enough to even tell me about his experiences. He didn't go into very much detail, and I didn't push too hard. But I do believe him. I do believe that regardless, he believes what he told me. I don't think he was just saying it just to say it, you know. That's my thoughts. I think it's an interesting aspect. I think the paranormal, if that is a real thing, if that's something you believe in, then it's alive and well here. If nothing else, based on the Native American history written account, the written, passed down word of mouth that got written down, the fact that this area, this in particular, this area right here, is where they claim that the dead walk at night, and where the people from the sky come to visit. Now, when we get into that aspect, what is the people in the sky? Who are the people in the sky? I have this question because I know for a fact that there's something out there, because I've seen it. I've seen it multiple times now, more times than I can even remember to count. Finally do have some of the footage here. I've never published the footage. I've showed you guys some of it. I had last year, probably, yeah, it was around this time. I had constant, almost nightly, unless it was too cloudy to see anything in the sky, I had nightly sightings, instances, whatever you want to call them, for about 40 some days straight. And anybody who's been around for a while remembers when this was going on. And I don't think I did catch anything on live stream. Maybe I did. I don't know. It was happening so regular. Oh, I probably didn't, because the time periods that it would usually happen were between 2:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Typically around 3:30. I mean, I was abducted by aliens and got probed. Life-changing experience. Been chasing the dragon ever since. I mean, I'm not going to say that you didn't. I mean, look, stranger things have probably happened, but I don't know that they're aliens. See, that's my thing. Like, I think that it's very possible. I thought I could get across right here. I cannot. I was going to take you guys to the original location of the bridge, which we might have to walk down the wall some here. What the heck? It's right here. It's right here. See that painting? I'm pretty sure it was right here. And they got this blocked off over here. I don't know if you can see, there's a bunch of, well, not a bunch, there's 3 cop vehicles here. There's like an overlook right here. Yeah, this is it. I could have swore there was an opening right here, though. Me and Gabe walked through it. Let me shine my flashlight down there. Nope. Huh. I'll be damned. Okay. All right, well, regardless, that's the location of the old bridge. It's actually down that way, on the other side of the wall. I can't remember how me and Gabe and Brianna got over there. It's been a while. Been a year. Gabe was here last October, I believe. I think that's when he was here. Yeah, because, yeah, he went to Salem. You can get into more detail, and I should probably get into more detail. I kind of got sidetracked on how I was going to start this thing out by, I don't know what you'd call him, park ranger guy that we got to talk to. You know, he gave us some good information, though, and I'm sure he knows, actually I know he knows the history in detail, some really good details about it. Yeah, I bet, you know, I should just come down here and interview him sometime, because he's got some good information, not necessarily on the paranormal stuff, but and I believe that's just such a small part of what this is. And I know you guys saw me earlier whenever I remembered 2 nights ago. I think it was 2 nights ago. Maybe it was like a night or 2 ago, when I saw that crane fly over us. I was shocked to see one flying at night like that. Like I said, I worked on the river for years, and I never see them flying at night like that. That's just something you don't see. You don't see birds flying at night unless it's a bat, usually at all. But the fact that I was able to hit it with the flashlight was pretty cool. Seriously, it was pretty cool. Since I wasn't able to get any food, I might come back down here tomorrow. I don't know. I guess it's going on tomorrow. If Little Caesars is still open, I'll go down there and I'll go get a pizza. I'd like to have some donuts from McHappy's is the donut place around here. Oh, my bad, man. Yeah, honestly, I didn't know I was going to do this until today. It was just a spur of the moment thing. I've actually came down here and filmed before. I came down here the year that Bethesda was here, and let me tell you, that was a freaking joke. It was kind of strange the way they did that and the way that whole thing played out, in my opinion, because if you were here, they were just giving out like handfuls of stuff to people instead of just giving one item of each thing to people. They just gave them handfuls, as much as they wanted. So all the free stuff that they had, all the swag merch stuff that they were giving out, and I ran into people that year that were kind enough to give me a couple things, and I do have a couple things at the house. I've got a cup from that. I have a like a party thing, blow thing. I don't know what you call it. Like a party favor thing. And then I have something else, like a challenge token, or like a token thing. And there was something else I had in that cup. I can't remember if I got a mask or what. I might have got a mask too. One of the Fallout Boy or Pep Boy, whatever they're called. I got one of those masks, like down there in the Mothman Museum display thing down here. But yeah, I mean, oh, here. Let's do this. Here's the freaking hotel. This is it right here. Am I zoomed out? I am. So it's got, you know, the architecture's nice. You see that nice detail up there? The inlay on the brick coming down, the sandstone in the brick. Comes down, you got storefronts. You got one empty, another one, and then you got another empty, and then another. And then there's a couple more crossed around the corner down there. But, and I'm sure they're renting the most rooms that they, I guess probably all they can rent, but as you can see, there is no central air either. That's another huge expense that you would have to undertake if you were going to modernize this building, is getting central air. I didn't bring any food. I was planning on eating here, so I didn't bring a B unit or anything. And I actually thought about doing that, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna have a bunch of food. And then I got here and like everything was closed except the funnel cake place. That was the only thing that was still open. Cotton candy and funnel cake. There you go, the historic Low Hotel. And there's inside. You guys can look this up on Realtor right now. It doesn't show you hardly anything. I mean, again, $2.2 million. There's not a building in Point Pleasant that's worth $2.2 million, including this one, especially this one. And you go around the corner here, you got the little, what is that, balcony that you come out on there. Nice little pillared porch.
Every city does their treatment.
Using water
Every
here.
city does their treatment.
Yeah, we'll walk down through here. So back here on the backside is some of the stuff that I remember as a kid. That, or there's like a courtyard in the middle. I can't remember. But I do remember my mom and my aunt hanging like sheets and stuff outside. Must have been, yep, that's what I thought. See this open area up here? It's like it's not necessarily a courtyard area, but I do remember up inside of there, like being able to see out through the windows. Again, that's been, let's see, 35 years ago now. At least 35 to 37 years ago. But it's not necessarily a courtyard, but I do remember this big open area in the middle. And see, that's a lot of dead space right there where you don't have rooms in the middle right there. Pretty good chunk of real estate, honestly, that wasn't built out. It just wasn't built out. This thing was underwater as well. Now, I don't just assume that there are structural issues, but you know, like in the grand scheme of things, when you're paying that much money for something, which I don't, there's no doubt in my mind this will stand for another 100 years as long as it's somewhat taken care of, like it has been, and that's like bare minimum, in my opinion. Which, I mean, again, like, people around here don't have money, man. Like, it's just this area does not thrive. It never has, never will. It's just never going to happen. That's why I need to leave this area. I do. Need to get away from the water up there where I live. Pretty sure that top floor up there, they don't rent anything out up there at all. See, nothing. And it looks like I mean, there's a light on there, but that doesn't mean, well, there's air conditioners there and there, and you got them here. But yeah, I haven't been in that place in 30 some years. I have not walked through the doors because of the personal experiences that I know. have been had. Let's go see if we can get some. I'm gonna go see if I can get. Oh, shit. Let's see if I can get some pizza. Read the chat. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I'll probably come back down here tomorrow, maybe. I do hope the pizza place is still open, because I am hungry. I'll get some of them little, I don't know what they're called, those little tiny pizza things. Happen to enjoy those. Anybody got any questions or anything in the chat? Oh yeah, I've learned things over the years, and I have forgotten more than I can remember. And I do know some things about the Gallipolis stuff. They took us pretty in detail or in depth through the Underground Railroad as kids. We would be taken on walks through our school, through grade school and middle school. I do remember in junior high. Going to the French art colony and seeing stuff. Anybody know what time it is right now? Because I cannot see the time. The flashlight's this. This is a Walmart special. It's actually, check this out. It's a hand warmer. When that's on, this thing heats up and it's a hand warmer. Anyway. This flashlight's pretty good. It's actually an Ozark Trail. It's already hot, getting hot. But here, watch. It's all. I don't know if it's aluminum. It's too heavy to be aluminum. It's got to be like stainless steel or something like that. Come on, Little Caesars, be open. Be open. Be open. Are you open? Yay, it's open. Sweet. What are those things called? I don't even know what they're called. What are those little pizza things? Like the little... Yeah, I think so. That yeah. Can I get this thing's like $5? I'm not. Okay, give me 2 of those. Give me a thing of the cheesy bread.
All right. I can bring you over.
Okay. And you got what do you got hot and ready? Just
Plenty of pepperonis. You got your cheese bread ready. And we got some crazy bread left.
I'll take a pepperoni.
All right.
All right.
So a pepperoni, 2 tops, and a spicy crazy bread, cheese bread.
Yeah. One of those stuff. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Here, take $1. That way you give me 30 back. All right, I think all my stuff might be ready already. That'll be cool. Yeah, there's the flashlight. It's a good flashlight. It's been a really good flashlight. Rechargeable. Thank you, sir. All right, man. What am I waiting on? The cheese? Am I waiting on the puffs? Is that what I'm waiting on?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll go outside. All right. Cool. Open spots. All right. Oh. So, looks like Little Caesars. It's charging for parking. I guess that's what was going on here. Like, look. Mothman Festival parking, $20. And it was this parking lot right here. That's my car. That's my car right there. Yeah, I did not pay for parking. Here, we'll walk over here and I'll throw my stuff in the car. Do what? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome to hear, man.
That I'm glad I avoided.
Kind of like condescending. I didn't mean it.
No.
It was a genuine question.
Yeah, I'm from around here, so I was like, huh? It's just, I know the camera thing, it's a little odd. I'm live streaming it, so.
Hi.
Hello.
Just making sure
What's your name?
River.
River?
Hi.
Nice to meet you, River.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Oldsmokey if you want to look me up.
All right.
People around here are really kind. I like that's. I don't feel like that's usual everywhere. I do think it's way more common. People are way more good than bad. Like most people are good. I would say anywhere from 95 to 99% of people are good. Maybe 99.999% of people are good on a grand scale. But like even in populated areas and groups, I think most people are good, man. Like, honestly. All right. Flashlight. Other cell phone. My car smells good. All right. I'll stick that right there. Oh. Why am I zoomed in? No, I'm not zoomed in. Huh. I don't know why. I do have my keys. Okay. All right. Time to read the chat. Oh yeah, anybody who could make money on parking, I feel like they probably did. It's one of those things that has progressively been getting more common, and I feel like 2 years ago it's gotten a lot more aggressive. Let me just put it that way. The whole trying to capitalize on this and make more money. Last year, someone told me the numbers of people that came in, and it was a lot. A lot of people make this a destination trip. Look, there's like one decent hotel. I'm not kidding. One decent hotel that's in this area. It's across the river. I want to say it's like a Hampton Inn or something. And then you've got these small hotels. You got what used to be called the Blue Fountain. I don't know what it is now. There's the Blue Fountain. There's another weird hotel in Gallipolis over there that's like 10 minutes away from here. There's the Super 8, which is... My aunt used to run that one too, and it's not good. She was the head maid there, or whatever. She was there. She was out with that one for years. She was there at Super 8. She went from Super 8, like going back, it was Low Hotel, and then she worked at the Holiday Inn where my grandma was the head maid at the Holiday Inn in the 80s, and my grandma worked there probably in the 70s, I would say. But I remember stories of the Holiday Inn over in Gallipolis, my grandma telling me about Hank Williams Jr. and Charlie Daniels playing in the, I guess, like, I don't know, like the bar that's in the hotel. Pretty cool, man. Like, pretty cool stuff. But my grandma was the head maid there for probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. My aunt did the Super 8 over there. She did a Red Roof Inn that's out by the fairgrounds in Gallipolis, which again, that's probably about 10 minutes from right here. If going out interstate or Route 35. I think it's route. It's not an interstate. Going out Route 35 or 33 or 35. I think it's 35. So there's the Econo Lodge out there that is a dump. Super 8, which it's probably okay. It's been updated, but I can remember like every time I would go there, I would get sick. But I would go swimming there. Like the chemicals in the pool were always really, really off, and it was always nasty. That's my personal experience. I wouldn't want to go stay there. There's only the one newer hotel that's over in Gallipolis that's actually halfway decent. Like I said, I think it's like a Hampton Inn or something like that. And then there is the Meg's Motel, which is about a half hour up that way. But then if you want to get into any sort of decent populated areas that are going to have any type of decent hotels, you're going to have to go to Charleston, Huntington. Huntington's about an hour and 10, 15 minutes that way. Charleston, if you take old 35 or 35, whatever it is. I think it's 35, 33, whatever. If you take that to Charleston, you can be in Charleston in about 50 minutes from right here. So Charleston's got some okay hotels up there, obviously. And then you could drive to Ripley, which has got a couple okay hotels up there, I think. That'd probably be about it, though. Like the Ripley, Fairplain, Ravenswood area. And then you could go to Parkersburg from here, which is about an hour and 5 hour and 10 minutes. There's just nowhere to... There's like... Again, the only real decent place to stay is across the river. If the Low Hotel would update... Just update one floor. Just update one floor, make it, more modern and nice and central air and, that would probably pay for itself in a couple years just of this. But it would also give people a place where they can actually stay here in Point Pleasant, because as of right now, there's nothing here. There's a few, I know a couple people that do Airbnbs that have like, I know one guy that's got a container that he turned into just a place to stay. It's really not that nice. And I know somebody else that's got a house that they rent out Airbnb, and I know another guy that's got a cabin that's down on the river that is on Airbnb. But that's it. That's it. If you want to stay here, that's what you're going to have to do. I don't think we need anything here. Like there's not enough population. There's not enough interest. There's not enough people that visit here for it to be... for it to work. I mean, there's just 3/4 of the rooms, or maybe even 80% would be empty at all times, and you'd probably get like the wrong types of crowd wanting to come in there. I don't know if my stuff's ready or not. Probably is. I don't know if it's ready. I got 2 of the puff things, cheesy bread, and a hot and ready pepperoni. He didn't take one. He did not. I just paid cash. I didn't even get a receipt. I thought about that after I walked out.
I think we're still waiting. Did you get puffs?
Yep, 4. I got 2 things of them.
We're still waiting on those scores to come out. It should just
Okay.
be a few more minutes.
All right, cool.
Sorry about that, man.
Nope, no problem. I thought that was weird that I didn't give a name or anything. Gallia rolls up the streets at 9 p.m. What do you mean? They do like street cleaning at 9 p.m.? Brian, Luxevo with Luxevo Vacations. So all your families from Gallipolis. I graduated from Gallia Academy. 2000, coming up on my 25 year. I'd like to see us have a 25 year reunion. That would be cool. What's not dead? Cliff, no. No, we don't. No, we don't. Quite frankly, people around here won't tolerate it. And why should they? And why should anyone? Look, I'm all for legal and proper immigration. I am for it. People that do go through the process and come here the correct way are going to contribute, are going to, probably be open to the type of lifestyle wherever it is that they move. Like, different areas of this country are different. You move down south, it's different. You move up north, it's different. You move to the middle of the country, it's different. You move out west, it's really different. I mean, the not wanting to conform to the local standards and like what's going on in Springfield right now. The fact that the big mainstream media outlets and really, really crappy politicians on the left have tried to laugh it off and act like, that's not happening, that's not a big deal. Yes, it is happening. I know someone that it happened to. Listen, those people, first of all, shouldn't have been okay with the mass influx of illegal, like, really, they were illegal immigrants. Okay, they got a free pass, but we can't just keep doing this. Like, we can't. It's unsustainable. It's not sustainable. Period. And they don't like the cold. Well, they don't like rednecks either. Okay, rednecks is where I like that. That's how this is here. And I'm just being honest. We won't tolerate it here. Take from that what you will. But try it. I mean, if you want to try it, go ahead. It's not going to work out well. That's all I can say. Because I know how this is. I've lived here my whole life. And I know how people have a very strong sense of community and a very strong sense of just friends, family, groups that really care for each other and care for the area and care for the history of the place and the future of the places. I think most people have that at heart, and I don't think anybody's okay with it being trampled on the way I've seen it trampled on in other places. And I really don't even, it's sad because I don't want to say what I know has happened before. And I'm not talking like 1800s type of stuff. No, I'm not talking about that. But are there, like, look, there are some illegals around here in very small numbers. And they're trying to do it right up the road here. There's a lot of locals in here, a lot of locals in here. And you guys know that this steel mill that's going in up here, this steel plant that's going to take scrap steel, and you guys know who I'm talking about. You know the place I'm talking about. They can't man their job. There's not enough people here to man their job. We're talking over a $3 billion plant that they're building up there. That's far within the swing of being done. And they have started bringing in illegals, from what I've been told, and I don't think people around here are going to tolerate it. I just don't. I think they will tolerate anything in small amounts. These are the same people that were tricked by the pharmaceutical industry, so they're very defensive when it comes to anything that could feel like a trick or could feel like they're being duped or tricked into doing something or accepting something. Pharmaceutical industry has ruined a lot of people's lives, a lot of this area, and they continue to do these things. The pharmaceutical industry is evil, and when I say evil, that means the absence of good. There's no good there, and in turn, that makes it more of an evil thing when there's an absence of good. I can't remember who said that, if it was Einstein or Benjamin Franklin. I want to say it was young Einstein that was saying that evil doesn't exist, but what we perceive as evil is the absence of any good.
You got any napkins over there? Oh, sorry.
You're all right.
I was just looking.
You're good. That's like a 25-year-old Grand Prix. You don't see that every day. Yes, Brian, exactly. Yes, I know. Yep. I totally agree, Jimmy. Legal immigrants absolutely have a lot to contribute. And that's the point. Like, they want to contribute. Illegals are doing the exact opposite. And let's be honest. Most of the time, they're working under the table. And then whatever funds they're getting, the majority, whatever they don't have to spend to survive, gets shipped back. Gets shipped back to Mexico or wherever they're from. Guatemala, who knows? Who knows where? Like, we have literally taken in the entire world over the past 4 years. 3.5, whatever. Yeah, you doing point. You'll see a 20-year-old Grand Prix. Actually, I don't know. It might have been like a 2000. No, it was probably like a 2001, 2002. Yeah, it was certainly 20 years old.
Hey, your food's ready if you want to head inside and grab
Okay,
it.
cool.
Sorry about that.
Nope, you're good. What'd she say her name was? Like Autumn or something? It was something like that. Friday or something like that. Yeah.
Hey, Sunny, your mom.
Sure.
Hey.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the community is tearing my beard up. River. Okay. I knew it was something like this. Something along those lines. Actually, no, I didn't. I couldn't remember it.
Let me get your order for you, man.
Okay, I think he's getting it actually. Awesome.
Do you want any of the crazy sauces?
Well,
I can put this in the bag for you.
that would be good. I need to get a marinara and a garlic.
And the garlic?
Yeah.
I'll charge you for it, man. Don't worry about
You
it.
sure?
Yeah. Here.
Awesome. Actually, probably should get 2 of those. Or do they come with them already?
No.
No? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I probably should get another one of those. I don't care to pay for them, guys. Really, I don't. I got ones in my pocket.
That's all right. No point in pulling up another transaction whenever it's just $1.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I mean, if you don't care, that would be cool.
It's like $3, $4. The pumpkin one. It's fine.
Are you sure?
100%.
All right. Awesome, guys. Thanks very much.
CEO isn't watching your live stream.
Nah, yeah, probably not.
Have a good rest
Thanks,
of your
guys. Appreciate it. You guys have any napkins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to grab a couple of those.
Seasoning packet?
Yeah, a couple would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, give me a couple of those too. Yeah, yeah.
Everything, huh? Customer service.
I can do spices. Thank you very much. Yep. Here, let me open it up. There we go. Awesome.
Have a great night.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Well, that was kind of River and the other fella that my buddy from high school used to manage this place, used to run it. He did that for like 12 years, 13 years. And he's doing good. The last time I saw him, I'm not going to say his name or anything. The last time I saw him, he didn't have a tooth in his head. Like it was really sad. And he had never had a cavity, never his teeth were perfect, like perfectly straight, and he never needed braces or anything like that. His teeth were perfect. Okay, I don't want to set these in my seat. I don't want a grease spot on my seat. All right. Oh, man. Come on. All right, I gotta lay you guys down for a second. All right, there we go. Oh, I forgot my cigarette over there. Dang it, and it was still burning. Gotta go back after it. Oh, shit. Just ran into that wire. Whoops. Couldn't see it. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of cool talking to people about this local area, because usually I don't get very many people on my live stream that are familiar with the Point Pleasant, Gallipolis area. It's not common. You know, obviously this is a small area, and most people have never been here before. So it's kind of cool. Oh yeah, definitely scored on some free stuff. Yeah. Yeah, River and her buddy hooked it up. Yeah, I tried to pay for it. I didn't care to pay for, I mean, obviously. I guess I should stay over here towards the light and look like a complete weirdo standing in the middle of a parking lot talking to myself. So I am a car guy. Like I'd consider myself to be a car guy. My dad was into it when I was little. Then my dad wasn't around for a long time, but he drove the rig, the semi-truck for Mopar for probably 7 to 10 years, somewhere along. I don't know exactly because he wasn't a big part of my life. But I did get to see it a few times, and I went to the Columbus Spring Nationals with him a couple times whenever I was younger. He was into drag racing. Made friends with Don Perdome, Big Daddy Don Garlitz, John Force. I'm sure I would like to talk to those guys and see what they remember about my dad, actually. Oh, you got an ant problem. My son actually he had an ant problem, and years ago we had an ant problem, and I'm talking at least 10 years ago, maybe longer, maybe like 13, 14 years ago, we had an ant problem. And I don't know if the stuff is still the same grade, as effective as it used to be, but we bought this stuff called Toro. I think it was called T-O-R-O, Toro, or Toro, whatever, in an orange box. I remember it being in an orange package. And that stuff worked. The ants would eat this clear gel stuff that we put out, and they would carry it back to the ant colony that they were coming from, and yeah, kill them all, I guess, because it worked. Okay, diatomaculous earth. I have heard a lot about this recently, and I don't know that much about it, but okay, so Gallipolis, I used to live where Walmart is now. So there used to be a trailer park there called K&K Mobile Homes. Let's see, we moved out of there. Well, when Walmart bought it off of Preston Love, which also owns a trailer park here in Point Pleasant. And now, like, he's a car guy, so I've gotten to know him over the past couple of years. Maybe is it Taro, T-E-R? But that's like the best stuff that we found to take care of. It took care of our ant problem. We just got some for our son. But I lived in that trailer park up till like 90. What year would that have been? I'm going to say like 94, probably. And then my mom and dad bought a place out on 218, which is like following Raccoon Creek. go up Route 7 like you're going to Huntington on the Ohio side, and there's a Y in the road right there. So not long after you come out of Gallipolis City, and it is it's 218. That's Route 218. Go out there about 3 miles, turn on Clay Chapel, top of the hills. There's Friendly Ridge, and they live out Friendly Ridge like probably 2 to 3 miles before you get to Williams Holler. I know that. I lived out there for a very short period of time, and then I moved in with my grandma and grandpa and went to school over here. That's whenever I started taking welding classes and got my state certifications. And then in 11th grade, my full 11th and 12th grade years, I drove from Mason or Clifton down to Gallipolis to school at the old high school. Well, what was the high school? It's not the high school now. I think it's middle school or something. But I really enjoyed my high school years, to be honest. Oh, you live out 141? Okay. Do I know any Lucases? Yes, I do. Dang it. So I'm 42. I graduated in 2000. So if you guys know, if you know anybody in classes from Point or Gallipolis from around that time, I probably knew them. I used to get along. I got along with everybody. Gallipolis, look. Whoever's on here that's familiar with the Gallipolis area, I don't know if I've talked about this before. Maybe I have. But just recently, when I was at the 4th of July celebration, I noticed like there weren't that many people around. And it got me thinking, why? So I started looking into the information and Googled it. And the population of Gallipolis City, used to be a city, if you look at the population from 2000 to now, has went from 25 or 25,000 down to like 3,000 and change now. The population has dropped from 25,000 down to 3,000 and change, roughly. I think that's what the numbers were. Don't quote me on those exact numbers, but it's round about that. I couldn't believe it when I seen that. I was more or less shocked at how much the population had declined, and that does certainly show in the area. And there might be some zoning or something that happened there that changed the census lines or something. I'm not really sure, but it's very apparent that there's a lot less population. And if you listen to the numbers, they are what I just said, and that's a drastic drop. There was a lot of kids in my graduating class. I can't remember how many there were, but it was hundreds. I want to say probably, I don't know, maybe it was like 150. Maybe it was 200. I don't know. I don't know the exact number, but I know there was a lot of kids in my graduating class. And now, there's no way the numbers are even close to that. And I know whenever they incorporated that school out there, it seems to me like they brought together other schools. It seems like Green was one of them. I don't know if they did South Gallia. Does South Gallia go to the Gallipolis now, or is there still a South Gallia High School? I don't know. But it seems like they consolidated some of the areas whenever they built a new high school. My stepdad actually built that high school out there. It was there from dirt to the day that the ribbon was cut. It was opened. Oh, it's the River Valley now. South Gallia is still its own. Okay. Hey, what's going on, John? 92 grad. Scott's Bar. Hang on a second. Scott's Bar. Are you talking about the one that burnt down? Because if you are, I'm pretty sure my stepbrother burnt that down. I'm pretty sure. I think we're talking about the same place. And if that's the case, as soon as I tell you who my stepbrother is, You'll know exactly who he is. One near the dam. I didn't know there was one up there. So you're talking like right up past 218. Yeah, I didn't know there was one up. I'm talking about the other direction. Let's see, what's it near? It's in between Cheshire and Galp-List. There used to be a bar right there on the left. Maybe it's closer to Galp-List. I'm trying to picture it. I can't remember exactly the location of it. Was it Green Gables? Maybe that was it. My stepbrother also had the entire city on lockdown there about, I don't know, what, 5-6 years ago. He had escaped from jail or prison or whatever and was in the area of the high school out there. Oh, it's at the end of George Street. Okay, I got you. Yeah, so Green Gables might have been the one that I don't know what the name of it was. I just know that I'm pretty sure he was the one that burnt it down. Yeah. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say his name. I don't know. I mean, it's not like he's doing anything valiant or valuable or important with his life now. I mean, I've not heard anything good about him in a long, long time. And he used to have his own business. He used to be a very well respected carpenter and very well respected businessman. He had probably some of the best carpenters in the area working for him. He had 3 or 4 company trucks, and they had tons of tools and stuff like that, building houses from the ground up. And he would also do renovations and repair work when there were storms and stuff. And he threw all that away in a very short amount of time. And he was very talented, and he had I don't know, he had a bright future if he would have not went down the road that he went down. It's sad to think about, honestly. Yeah, so I was going to get food. My plan was to walk right down through right over here and then by the Mothman statue and get some local like food truck food or something, and everything was closed. I think that probably has to do with where it poured the rain down about half. I almost didn't come because it was thundering, it was lightning, it was raining, and then it just cleared up, got sunny, and I was like, all right, I'll go. So I was going to get some food and then grab a bite to eat, and then we were going to go down and I was going to just kind of do the crazy local history of here and walk my way back. The Mothman's a very small part of it. Started with the Revolutionary War and Indian history, talking about a little bit about how the Native Americans were firm believers in the paranormal aspect of this area, and the reason that they would not, they refused to develop this area, stay here. They didn't farm it. The only thing they would do, supposedly, was walk their livestock through here. They didn't want to stay here overnight. Passing through was all they wanted to do. It's really interesting. It's still kind of hot in California. It's muggy here. It has cooled down a lot in the past 40 minutes, hour, but it's still sticky. It's still humid. Man, has it really been going on that long? Has it been going on 15 years? I didn't think it'd been going on that long. Yeah, that's what I've tried to explain to people. Like, I'm not a huge advocate for coming down here because, like, what do you do when you come here? What are you going to do? And I know they have like a bus tour. What does the bus tour do? I think I should start something, giving a walking tour of history, and sprinkle the little paranormal crap that I know in there, all the way from down there where those 2 properties were. I'm pretty sure I could get her to get involved with it. I'm actually really good friends with her now. If you guys need a real estate agent, just look up Toma. She's great. Toma Ragnar, I believe, is her last name. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing her last name right, but her first name is Toma. Absolutely great real estate agent. And if you're looking for something, she'll help you. She's really good. But yeah, I mean, I thought about maybe doing something like that just because it would add something of value. I feel like that people could actually come and at least get a little bit of information out of and get something, in my opinion, of some value. I think information has value. And that way that they're not walking away from this place feeling like they showed up and ate some food. And that really, what else is there here? Like that, they're not offering anything here. And I do have a problem with that. Like, you're going to have this Mothman festival. For what? To do what? I don't get it. The local history is much more interesting. Lisa, you're correct. And honestly, I'm not educated enough in depth. But of course, I would sit down and really hammer myself with the information that I need to learn, and write enough stuff down that I could reference my notes and things, which I do have. I'd done that tonight. I just didn't I got sidetracked talking to the parks guy. I mean, I'm a big look, I've had enough experiences at this point that I can't deny the fact that things are going on that I don't understand, that I can't explain. So it's worth talking about. The Battle Days Festival in October, it used to be a big thing, but it fizzled out. Well, this is the 250 year anniversary. See, that's another time that, like, you could do this Mothman Festival doing these walking tours, and then you could hit that and do the walking tours talking about the exact same stuff. Like, so you could do, have 3 or 4 people that sticks to a pretty loose script but have the history be correct. I feel like it's something this place is lacking. Again, I know that somebody's doing bus tours and they sell out every year because, look, there's nothing to do. But what are the bus tours going to do? They're going to take you to these couple locations, one of them being TNT. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. I don't know what they do. But I'm guessing, like, if my thoughts are a bus tour, what's it going to do? They're going to take them out to the TNT area. They're going to take them back in that road where that one sighting that's talked about all the time, those kids. And I have talked to locals that have talked about that. And those kids were out drinking. This is what I've been told by a woman that actually runs. Anyway, I don't want to, anyway. So she said that those kids were out drinking that night, and the cops caught them on their way back in. So instead of getting in trouble, they said that they were running from the Mothman. You see what I'm saying? So that makes sense now to me, why that story came about. And then the experience that I had the other night, again, I think this is super weird that I experienced this just a couple of days ago, was that crane flying over my head with the full moon. It was the craziest thing because it flew right through my eyesight of the full moon, so I could see it. Like, it was humongous. Those cranes are great big birds with like a 7 foot, 8 foot maybe wingspan. They're great big birds. I've stood pretty near one down on the river, and they're about that tall. Like, most of it's their legs. Their legs are crazy long, skinny little legs on them. And they're some wicked looking birds. Their eyes are beet red, just absolutely beet red. So, yeah, it was pretty interesting whenever I hit that one with my flashlight, and it wasn't all I could see, but I seen its red eyes, and I was like, oh, now that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense that this is probably what they seen. So, yeah, 4 foot tall. So we're talking, that's a big bird. Like, it's a big bird. What do they got? Like 10 foot wingspan, something like that. Yeah, if I did walking tours, I could throw in a little bit of eating history at the end or something. Because, look, the TNT area was a very important World War II production / storage area. And there was a lot of stuff going on out there that, to be honest, we still don't know about today. And let me tell you all about another really interesting place. A lot of you guys probably don't know this, or maybe you've never seen it, but I guarantee you it's still there today, because whenever I was still working on the river, riding up and down the Ohio River right here, over there, up and down the Ohio River, at the very end of Point Pleasant down there, where they used to build ships, was it Dravo, or I don't know, I can't remember what the company was. They used to build towboats and stuff at the end of Point Pleasant down there. There's also an area down there now, I don't know what it was back in the day or if it was always like this, but there's a great big huge pile of gravel and rock. And to this day, up to the last time I was on the river and up and down through there, they have military assigned to guard that fenced in gravel pile, which has a door that goes into it. I don't know what's there. I know there's something there, and I know it's there still today, unless they've shut it down in the past few years. I doubt. But at the end of Point Pleasant right here, there is something going on as far as a covert, hidden, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a bunker. It could be some kind of bunker. I don't know. I'm not claiming that I know what it is. I don't. I know it's there. I've seen it. I've seen the guys guarding it. That's all I can tell you. I don't know anything else about it. And honestly, it slips my mind so often. Like I don't even think to ask people that might know something about it. There's got to be people around here that know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh God. Well, you would think, look, as long as it's not still manned and guarded by active military, urban exploring would be absolutely on the list. But hey, when you say like a whole bunch of words and 5 people are talking at once, I can't hear you. It's weird how many people are open to the camera. Like this is not, like most people around here are not open to the camera. But again, I'm standing in the middle of a parking lot talking to myself. So it's kind of funny. All right. I'm more comfortable with my hat turned around, I think. Okay, I gotta drive home, I guess. It's always guarded, yes. It's always guarded. And yes, it is completely fenced in. Yes, Lisa. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because it's very real. I mean, like I said, I've seen it. My buddy's the one that actually brought, because I had been past it 100 times. Never paid any attention to it. And until he pointed it out to me, and while we were going by it, I was like, where even is that? Like, I don't even know how you get to it. I'm pretty sure it's pretty near the house that I was just looking at trying to buy, which that house belonged to a doctor at Pleasant Valley. He retired a couple years ago. I think he still works, though. Comes in and works sometimes, though. He moved to Columbus, but he comes down here a lot. His name is, he's Indian. Man, his name's on the tip of my tongue. I just looked it up yesterday. My neighbor was asking me about it. But they decided not to sell the house to me and decided to rent it to a new doctor who came in town instead. So who knows how long that doctor will rent from them. He from what I was told, he doesn't plan on being here no longer than a year. But within a year, I'm probably going to be building my house, so I won't have any interest in buying this house any longer. The house needs, in my opinion, well, it does. It needs completely remodeled. It's all from 1993. It's been untouched since 1993. No updates at all have happened since 1993. Most of the appliances even are still from 1993. There's a different refrigerator in there, but the ovens are old. The microwave was old. I think the dishwasher was new, but there was a trash compactor that was ancient. 93, it says 30 years old. Sorry, 31 years old. Covertly flying with a drone. That's a good way to get shot. Or something. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely something military. It's been there, from what I understand, it's been there since the 40s. I don't know. I don't know the backstory to it. All I know is what I've seen and what people, the very limited stuff that my buddy was telling me about it. Hey, Aletha. Hello. Was just getting ready to sign out almost. It's because I still got to drive home and I have no idea what time it is. I don't have my other phone on me. Anybody know what time it is now? Is it like 11? Wait, there's probably a clock. No. Huh. Weird. Ohio Valley Bank doesn't have a clock. 10:24, okay. It's Walmart. My son just started working at Walmart. Tonight was his first night of a 4-night shift. His first night of 4 nights. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, basically like, yeah, 10:30-ish. East. I'm on Eastern Standard Time, so 7:24 Pacific. 6 years. 6 years. How long have I been doing YouTube now? 9 years now, almost? Golly. 8, 9 years? Long time. Yeah, I don't know what area you're in, but like Walmart's not a horrible job here. What'd my son start out at? 15. I think he said 15.75 or something like that. I could be wrong. I think that's what he said he's getting. But he's just the other day, it might have been yesterday, he had mentioned that he thinks he wants to move out and get an apartment. I said, okay, cool. He's literally been working less than a month. That's all right. How much is your rent going to be? It's like $700. Like, okay, what about your water, your electric? Obviously, usually trash goes along with that. I was like, what about your internet? It's like, let's just round some numbers off and let's estimate this. We sat down. I wrote down $700 for rent. Probably wrote round about $100 for water. Like bare minimum you can pay in New Haven right now is $88. So just call it $100. Cable be at least $150 because internet be at least $150 because I know how they operate. Electric would probably be another $150, $200, depending on how your air conditioner works, how your heat works. And I was like, how much do you think you're going to be making a month? He told me. And I was like, okay, so you'll have $150 left. You have $150 a month left after you pay your bills. That's not including food. That's not including food. And I was like, you know how you got all that free food to eat here? He's like, yeah. I was like, you won't have that. You'll no longer have food at your access to eat. Oh yeah, 15 months. You man, I got this empty feeling in my gut though. Like the whole empty nester thing. I do not like this feeling. I do not like this feeling at all. If my kids aren't living at home, and then it's only my animals that are keeping me like grounded and stuck there, there's a real good chance that my animals are going to be moving. My animals are going to be moving with me. Because if my son's not living with me, I have no reason to stay here at all. None. If he's going to move out and he's going to move away, if he's going to move far enough away to where I'm not going to see him daily, yeah, I'm moving. I am moving. I'm still young. I've got enough time left, I hope, God willing, universe, God willing, that I had, I'm graced with enough time, more time, that I can go and I can do, basically I could live out a whole nother life. I have enough time, hopefully, again, granted that I'm allowed by the powers that be to have that time. But I mean, I'm 42 years old. I think my kids are 23 and 20. I did an all right job raising them. I didn't do the best job. I was a kid. I was a kid when I had kids. I don't know that that's a very good move. I wish I would have waited until I was in my like later 20s, when I'm talking like 28, 29. But I didn't. I would like to say I did the best job that I could do raising them. I don't think I did that either. I think I know I could have done better. There's a whole lot of factors that factor into that. Wrong state of mind, other factors, outside factors that factor in, and then, you know, after I had the injury, up to that point, I was coaching every sport that they were in. I coached wrestling, I coached basketball, I coached baseball. I was getting into golf with my youngest, because that seemed like the direction that he wanted to go. And I felt connected to them in that aspect. I spent time playing video games with them, learning what they liked. So I'd be able to sit down and hang with them when I like on the same level, skill level. Because if you can't hang skill level with somebody on these modern video games, like, they're not going to want to play with you. But I could hang with them. And then after I got hurt, like, obviously everything changed. It wasn't a choice. It just happened. But I know I could have done better. I've told my kids, they understand that I could have done better, and I know that. And you know, I can't go back in time. That's the thing. And my kids understand that also. Like, I can't go back and change it and fix it and do better in the past. All I can do is better in the future. So I'm trying. But yeah, my son, at the same time, about talking about moving out, he's like, I think I want to try to buy a new Tesla. And I was like, cool. It's like, how much is that going to cost you? All right. How much is the insurance going to cost you? All right. Which one's it going to be? You could do one or the other and be broke. Also, you will be broke. If you buy a new Tesla, you will be broke, and you will have a Tesla. If you move out into this apartment, you will be broke, but you'll have an apartment. And like a little bit of food, like $150 a month worth of food. So he'll be eating at McDonald's. That's what he'd be doing, man. Look, I done it. You know, I was 17 when I first moved out and went on the road. So I mean, I know how to, I know that those hard times actually build character. I would not let my kids suffer or anything like that. My God, no, I wouldn't let them suffer. But I would certainly help them out if they needed it, you know. Oh, the ramen. I didn't know the ramen was recalled, but ramen, I had no idea how bad for you ramen really was. And it's not just ramen anymore. It's all of our daggone food. All of our food is so bad for us. That's why I'm praying to God that Trump gets in there and RFK actually comes in and changes some of the food regulations and all these horrible chemicals that are in our food. Because, and then also, not just that, but to have Elon Musk come in as an actual government employee, assessing the efficiency of certain government programs and government agencies, and having the authority to cut any bloat out of our government. I mean, he could do it within a week. He could cut 70% of the bloat out of our government. Well, when I say 70%, I mean cut 70% of the government. Because you know we could go without 70% of it, not bat an eye. I think we could probably cut about 85 to 90% of it and never miss them. Never miss them. And save ourselves trillions. You hear me? Trillions of dollars. Not only for the agencies, but the programs that those agencies are pushing out there. Oh, 100%. Everybody's got microplastics in their bloods. Every single sea-bearing creature is plumb full of microplastics. And honestly, I think that's one of the largest issues in the world right now that's not being focused on correctly, and that is the heavily polluted waters of our ocean. I think the oceans work like a radiator for the planet, and I think they're clogging up and have been clogged up with trash and just crap and plastic. And if we don't do something about cleaning it up, like large scale, huge cleanup, and it'll still take many years after that, even after we've cleaned it up. Plastic's got to go, man. Plastic and styrofoam is both of those things. We're going to have to just basically outlaw them, and we're going to have to use glass and real metal, and we're going to have to use reusable everything if possible. My family, if they go to get like a plastic fork, and I'm like, I like, you're going to use that. I don't want you to just use it and throw it away. I one-time use stuff, like, unless you're eating chili or something and you've stained up a spoon or something, like a plastic spoon or something with chili or spaghetti or something like that, rinse it off and use it again. I prefer to just use the metal. You're going to have to rinse it off. This is the same. Just use metal. Yeah, don't microwave styrofoam takeout boxes. Yeah, you should not be like the stuff that you end up ingesting with. It's all bad. It's all bad. But honestly, that's no worse than the stuff that they're actually putting in there and listing on the ingredients list. You know, we're in a bad place right now, and if we don't do a course correction with the oceans and our food, yeah, humans aren't going to be a problem that much longer. And I think that's part of the agenda. I think regulating the population is a big thing that they want to do. I think they want to have 500 million people or less. And that's really what I think. I'll smoke another cigarette, and then I'll sign out. My car smells like garlic now. It did smell really good before I put that food in there. But yeah, seriously though, if for no other reason other than the fact that Elon Musk is going to come in and cut government spending and government programs and government agencies, like that right there is reason enough to vote that way. Period. End of story. The most educated, with common sense and a sense of humor, all of them got a pretty decent sense of humor, because you got to be able to listen to these other sides' craziness just to be able to take a joke, which I think you should be able to listen to anything and either laugh it off or take it seriously. You donate $1,000 annually. That's awesome. Look, you won't meet a bigger animal advocate. Well, yeah, you will. You won't meet a bigger animal lover than what I am. I love all animals. Look, I take ants outside and release them. If I could catch flies, I would take flies outside. I haven't figured that one out yet. That's the only thing that I will smack with a fly swatter, and I don't even like to do that. Point Pleasant is dead already, by the way. Like this whole festival thing, it's once a year. The weather's decent. This should be going on until 11 o'clock. It's Saturday night. Like, what are these people, like, what are they doing? Like, if you're going to do it, do it. Oh, man, hit a raccoon. I got plenty of raccoons. I've got, like, I'm going to say right now, like, a lot of them have moved on, like the babies and stuff, that they're not coming back every night like they used to. But I've got about 8 nightly visitors. At one point, I had about 16 to 20 nightly visitors that I feed cookies to by hand. It's all right. Man, there's a lot of cops out. A lot of cops. Tax collecting out. Making that money. Is it better to live on the Ohio side? Is that what you said? Okay, so it about equals out, to be honest. Ohio does not have any taxes on like personal property like cars. West Virginia does. My taxes on my cars, actually I have 3. I got this, the Cobalt, and Amber's Kia. Or actually no. What am I paying taxes on? This, the Cobalt, and a Kia. I'm sure that's what it was. It was $1,000. It was $1,000 for my taxes for this car and 2 others. This one's the main bulk of it, though. I would say taxes on that one was probably like $600-700, which is insane because, like, you're getting into home tax prices, above home tax prices. Taxes on my house, though, I will tell you, was cheap. The taxes on my houses were low, relatively low, I would say. You know, I don't know, man. Go to Ohio, you don't pay taxes on anything like that. Your property taxes will be higher, though, over there, as far as like your taxes on your house. So it almost equals out. If you have a couple vehicles in your name that you own and you move to Ohio, the taxes on your house, depending on, unless you're living like in a mansion or something. If you're just living in like a normal median priced home versus a medium priced home over here, it about equals out, honestly. If you own a few vehicles over here, your taxes are going to be about the same over here as over there. That's the main difference between living here and over there. I know their laws used to be a little bit more lenient over there. But over here, I don't know, man. Like, if you live here for a little while and you get to know some people, then as far as like the cops and stuff are more community oriented and like they try to get to know people, so therefore they're not out to screw you as much as over there. I know over there they don't care. Ohio is just different that way. But I will say that Ohio, now my big difference there, in my opinion, is it seemed to me like Ohio would focus a lot more on actual crime versus like trying to get parking tickets and speeding tickets and seatbelt tickets. Like, they would be more worried about actual criminal behavior and like drugs and violence and things like that. That's the difference that I see. Generalized, if I'm just generalizing it, that's the difference I would see. And I like that a lot better about Ohio when it comes to that. But if you get to know the people over here and you get to know like people that know cops or you know cops, then I don't know, like, that can help, I guess. What is it, Jimmy? Let's see. Seeing a John Travolta spin full-size Colts. Wait. I've seen John Travolta spin full-size Colts before he made it big. Spin? Can't remember his roommate's name. Another famous star he knew. We knew each other as youngsters. He just had them in a box under his bed and practiced over if they were lightning fast, all Hollywood parts. Wait, what? Colts. I'm confused, Jimmy. What are we talking about? Colts. Wait, do I need to go back further? John Travolta spin full-size Colts before he made it big. Spin full-size Colts. Like horses? Yeah, I doubt I doubt Jeff moved over there just because Ohio's better or anything. Honestly, the difference, if you stay in this little tri-state area, the difference is negligible. If you go into a city, if you live in Gallipolis City, they tax you a lot harder. If you move to Huntington, the city taxes and stuff are going to be higher. You pay even extra income tax. Yeah, so I would have to say overall, though, you're probably actually better off in West Virginia. I know there's a lot less regulation over here as well. When it comes to building, if you want to build something, if you have to go get a permit, it'll cost, like where I live. If I want to build my house up there, it's going to cost me $25 for a building permit. And that's pretty much it. You can build whatever you want, as long as you're, I think I got to be 10 feet off of my property line with my neighbor, the one that borders my neighbor. But other than that, like the regulations are very laxed. Yeah, it used to be a Kawasaki dealership. The Kawasaki shop used to be up in Pomeroy. And yeah, now it's like out back at Gallipolis. Oh, so you ride Kawasaki's, I got you. I've been looking at getting a bike, man. I don't know if I can shift one though with my leg. I got poison sumac or something all over my arm. I had to go out and take a tree off of my power line the other day before yesterday. And now my arm, it's like, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's all up on my forearm and underneath my arm. And then I had a horse bite me right there. See that bruise on my arm right there? It's a little pony. I was at my buddy's house and he's got a little pony. And he just barely got my skin in between his teeth and pinched me. I thought it was funny though. It hurt a little bit, but it was funny. Oh, really? I had no idea. Wait a second. The Kawasaki shop is the old Sears store? I didn't know that. Is it, Brian, is that what you're saying? Oh, Colt pistols. Oh. I was like, what are you talking about, Colts? Oh, okay. All right, let me go back and read that now that I got the context of what we were talking about. Not bolt to spin full-size Colts. Roommate's name, another famous star. Knew each other as youngsters. Okay, got you. Just had him in a box under his bed and practiced. I mean, that's what you got to do. Like, if you have a passion for something, acting, and you want a certain type of role or something, I mean, really, you just got to. I know most of the time, like, guys can do this because we got like a single track mind. We can focus on one thing a lot better. I think that's just my outlook on it. Obviously women can do multitasking a lot better, but I do feel like we can somewhat perfect as much perfection as you can get certain things like that in shorter amounts of time. All right, my cigarette is done. It won't be a cold start, but here, let's do it. I'll set this right here. Has that got my car? Did any smoke come out of my exhaust when I just started it up? Because like I can never see that. Oh, you're in the low. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. My aunt used to be the head maid in that hotel years ago. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Good, very good. Oh, Amber's on here. Yeah, I'm getting ready to leave. Hey, I've got, I picked up Little Caesars, by the way. Got you the garlic sticks. I got a pizza and 2 of the puff things. See, well, I know it's for sale right now, Brian. I don't know that has it been closed? I don't know. Actually. Ugh. All right, so I'm gonna have to sign out of here. Visited the Whitakers. Oh, really? Huh. So you went up there and seen oh, what's that guy? That guy's name? That all with all the controversy with their inbred is what I've come to gather from that. That's the Whitakers, right? That's what you're talking about. If you really want to go visit somebody who will probably be a really interesting visit, if he's willing to do it, go visit Jessica White. Look up the Wild, Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, and go. If you can get, well, just about any member of his family that was part of those films, those are some interesting people. Those are some interesting people. Okay, yeah, so that's what I thought. So you went and visited them? Jimmy, that's interesting. Why would, like, I've thought about, as a West Virginia, this is just a weird thought that I had, and I'll throw it out there right now. Let me roll this down. It's getting stuffy in here. I thought about going up there and talking to those people and trying to get together other West Virginians, because I know that whole thing with the money, and I know that guy probably, I'm sure he did give it all to them. They nickel and dimed him to death, but he also allowed them to do that. I feel like the filmmaker, I think he had great intentions. I think whenever they kept calling him and saying, we need this, we need that, we need money, the money was raised to build him a house. He should have just said, look, the money was raised to build you guys a house. I can't give it to you for just random things. We have to set up a construction company to build you guys a dwelling of some kind. And just had like a barn dominium, a cheap barn dominium built for, I don't know, let's say $100,000. I think that's what they had. You could do I don't know, you could probably get, like, especially for those folks, you could probably get 1,500 square feet barn dominium built for $100,000. And I feel like locals would probably be willing to chip in as far as, like, helping with the construction and things. I don't know, I've just thought about, like, that's how that should have been approached, and maybe somebody would be willing to do that for them, but I don't know, man. That's a sticky situation to get involved in, just because of all the controversy that already exists to do with it. And I don't think Tyler Oliveira meant to start controversy whenever he went and talked to him. It just, the way it played out, and lack of information and their lack of being able to explain it, it turned into a misunderstanding and a mess. Because again, I think that guy's name's Jeff or something like that. I can't remember his name. Night outside peas that are a real thing. Yeah, you can do that pretty much just about anywhere in West Virginia, unless you're like right in town. Like most places are, even a lot of places that are in town aren't really in town. What'd Brian say? But yeah, if you guys haven't looked up the Jessica White stuff, the original Dancing Outlaw documentary that PBS done years ago, I seen it on a towboat about, I don't know, probably 13, 14 years ago now. And I had never heard of it. But a guy I was working with on the boat had it on VHS tape. And he was like, "Oh man, you ain't heard about this?" And he was a former Marshall football player, the guy I'm talking about that was telling me about it. He played with Randy Moss. What was his name? Oh man, I shouldn't be itching this, but God, it feels so good. Oh. William Houck. No, William, I think his last name was Wallace. I think it was William Wallace. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look him up because he played for Marshall, like I said, with Randy Moss. Got in trouble with Randy Moss and all that. But he's the one that told me about that Dancing Outlaw documentary at PBS. And then they did another documentary after that with Jessica, and he ended up making a guest appearance on Roseanne. There was a movie after the Dancing Outlaw, and I can't remember what it was called. And then the Jackass guys, Johnny Knoxville and Jeff Tremaine, somehow caught wind of him or saw the Dancing Outlaw like I did, and got in contact with him. And Hank Williams III, was buddies with him, and they all kind of hooked up and ended up making that Wild Wonderful Whites of West Virginia movie. And it was okay. At that time, his sister was in the prison that's right up the road here at Lakin. And whenever she got out, she came right here. Literally right here. I believe they were in this parking lot when they were filming because the bridge was right there. So if you happen to watch that Wild Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, like she was sitting in either this parking lot or maybe over in Piggly Wiggly parking lot. She was somewhere right here. And I don't think it was Piggly Wiggly back then. I think it was Foodland back then. Anyway. All right, I got to get off of here and drive home. And, oh, you was there way before the filmmaker? I got you. Oh, Jessica, yeah. Gabriel, oh, I got you. He goes in the daytime when people driving by. Yeah, that's, I mean, I guess he's the one that barks, right? I think. All right, I guess Stella won't go to bed because I'm not home, and I got a 30-minute drive home. So I'm signing out, y'all. Thanks for hanging out, and if I decide to come down here earlier tomorrow, I might just go live and check out the food. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down before you take off. Thanks to my patrons. Thanks to everyone hanging out. I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Later.